Hey, everybody. Welcome into the Candy Shop Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Dylan Clemens, with my co-hosts, the Mike and Ikes, Mike LaPlante and Ike Bonnie. Fellas, what's going on?
Hey.
Just enjoying some Thanksgiving leftovers because we are doing this after Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. But man, those leftovers are
good.
Oh, good. Yeah, those Thanksgiving leftovers are just as good the second time around. Let me tell you.
Yeah, definitely very solid, man. What did you guys think of the football slate yesterday? I have my thoughts, but I'm curious to hear what your guys' thoughts are. Ike, will start with you.
I don't want to talk about the Bears.
Come on, you gotta.
I'm okay with that.
Don't be a baby.
But Cowboys defense is starting to figure it out. Granted, it was a bad team, so I mean they're still in the playoff hunt. So it's we'll see what they can do with Cooper Rush. Still, they got a tough schedule coming up, but we'll see.
I mean, I think it's fair to say we were pretty spot on about Cooper Rush not being an awful backup quarterback. He's fine, man. And if their defense starts to figure it out, he's got weapons.
Didn't have CeeDee Lamb the whole second half. I don't think he did fine. He did fine.
Yeah, they might be able to figure it out.
They didn't have him the first half either because he kept dropping passes. So
fair enough.
What did you guys think of the Packers game? I missed it, to be honest with you. My wife and I took our son Cooper to go see Moana 2. Definitely go check it out. Anybody who's a parent, even if you're not, go check it out. It's a solid movie. But what did you guys think of the Packer game last night?
They railroaded.
Did you watch it?
A little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it was the first half. It was all Packers, 24-3. Dolphins just, I mean, like all cold weather games, they did not look like they showed up. So
Tua played well though. Tua played.
No, it was the tale of two halves though, because the second half came around and the Dolphins came out a lot better, and the Packers just kind of were stagnant. They only got 6 points in the second half, so it was very disappointing. As a Packers fan, that they, how they finished. They got the W, but it was just disappointing to see how they finished. They were physical though. They showed to be a physical team, and that's something the Packers aren't usually.
That's good for them, man. But FTP, man. You already know that from me. I don't like hearing that they played very well, but I saw Josh Jacobs had a good night.
I wouldn't say very well.
Devon Achane was saved by a touchdown, right? And maybe he had some passing game work.
8 catches or some shit. Yeah, he's the new receiving back.
Yeah, no, that's nice. You'll definitely take that at PPR, guys. Before we jump into our game preview show, I just want to remind everyone, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Then head on over to fantasy6pack.net/plans, become an all-access member, and that's where you get access to our award-winning rankings, draft cheat sheets when we got fantasy drafts around. You get access to our F6P Discord where you get custom advice for your leagues and your DFS builds, guys, and that's where you can actually make a lot of your money as our DFS guys, Chris Robert, Dave Eddy, Keith Fleming do a really good job over there making everybody a decent chunk of change on the Sunday slates. I'm also in there doing NBA DFS. We're always in there talking as well. So come hang out. It's a good time. That's fantasy6pack.net/plans. Go ahead.
I can't say much for your NFL knowledge, but guys, get in there for his NBA, cheat sheet or whatever it is he knows that.
Thanks for reading.
Such a sick plug, man. That was great.
Yeah.
No, well, I don't. It's a cheat sheet that you have for NBA, just like how Dave has. It's just you're not, Dave. You're a step below Dave, but you get the job done. You're at least cashed.
I appreciate the shout out though, Mike. And if everyone's new here, I just want to remind everyone how we do this. We go through each game. The boys give each one sweet play, someone who they think can win you the week, who's going to have big day, and then our sour play, someone who, if you can help it, sit out of your bench this week. So we got a small slate since we had, 4 games already with the 3 Thanksgiving and the Black Friday game earlier today. We didn't even mention that on the top of the show. What an ugly game that was, fellas, but we won't dive too much into that. We'll jump right into the Sunday games. And the first one on our list here is the Houston Texans taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars, battle in the AFC South. Texans favored by 3.5 in this one. Game total of 44. I know the Texans are on the road here, but it feels like they should be favored by more like 5.5, right? I know they've been struggling a little bit here and there, but this Jaguars team is not good. Go ahead, Mike.
I think it's because Trevor Lawrence is questionable. There's that thought that he might play, and that maybe is why it's so close.
I still don't think that matters anyways. But yeah, he's really the only big person on the injury report for both these teams. I'll kick it to Ike right away. You can take it away, man, with whatever you want. Your sweet or your where are you going?
I'm going to go with the sweet pick first, and I'm going to go with CJ Stroud. Last time he had a top 8 finish was against this defense. I think he can easily perform that again. He doesn't have Stephon Diggs, but he still has Nico Collins, Dalton Schultz, and Tank Dell. So it's an easy defense. If you're going to start CJ Stroud, this is the week to do it.
Nico Collins is just that dude, man. And with him back, the offense
he needs to get his touchdowns
better.
Not called back, or he'd be like top-notch wide receiver.
Agreed. He's just got it all, though, man. He's a big body receiver, could go up and get the ball, too. And then it's like he's
got
just
speed.
Big play after big play this year, too. Yeah, it's just been good stuff. But I've been saying it for a while now. It's that offensive line is really holding them back. Like, I don't know if you guys saw last week. It really just put a burden on the whole offense. Stroud just instantly getting pressure at times, which
it's
really
good. This Jaguars team has no pass rush, really. So
I mean, Josh Allen Hines, is really the only guy. I hear you, but yeah, Michael, kick it to you here. I gave us his sweet play, so why don't you hit us with your sweet play as well?
It's the same player. It's CJ Stroud. The disappointing is I can't talk today. The disappointing fact is he's only had 2 top 10 performances this year, and one of those top 10 performances was week 4 against Jacksonville. So that is a little, as far as, positivity goes, that's nice here. Because Stroud has been brutal. It's also the only game on the year that he's had 40-plus passing attempts. I don't know if I see that again this week, but, that, again, another positive thing to kind of, build on. He's coming off his 3rd best performance of the year last week at QB 11 against Tennessee, which is a little bit tougher of a matchup than Jacksonville. So, he's got his weapons back minus Stephon Diggs. I like Stroud this week, finishing in the top 10.
I like it. Jamie likes Take Dell's matchup this week, and I do as well here. Hoping he goes off. I
do want to say one thing that I saw when I was looking at stuff. Houston has allowed the most wide receiver 1 and 2 finishes this year. So if you have Brian Thomas Jr., I'd be firing him up in the flex or wide receiver 3, just something.
Even with
I
Mac Jones
I wholeheartedly disagree.
Lawrence.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly disagree with that stat because if it's with Mac Jones, I don't know if Brian Thomas is going to. He's been absolutely brutal.
I'm pretty sure Trevor Lawrence, they said he was going to play, or at least
he's questionable. He's questionable. If Lawrence is in.
Houston allows the most wide receiver 1 and 2 finishes, so it's good
with
for
Mac
Brian
Jones.
Thomas.
It's hard. With Mac Jones, it's hard.
Still.
That's the thing. If Trevor Lawrence is in, even if he's hurt, I still like Brian Thomas then in the flex.
Oh yeah, Brian Thomas. Yeah, I think he should be in the flex no matter what.
Kick it to you, like who's your gross play this week? Who's the sour play in this matchup that you
ETN? ETN. Don't play him. Since coming back from injury, he's averaging 5.3 points per game. I mean, Tank Bigsby is out or questionable.
Back. Nope, he's back, I think.
Well, even with him out, it didn't matter because ETN is still struggling tremendously in every facet of the game. So even with Tank back, you can't trust him. I'd play Tank over ETN anyways.
Agreed. I don't think you want to play ETN if you could help it as well.
Yeah, fair enough. But still, if you had to pick between one, I'm going with the guy who probably has a better chance of scoring, and that's Tank. Depending on what league you are, though.
They're both of them are my sour players with this matchup here. 6th toughest matchup for any.
I mean, for the most part, people weren't playing Bigsby anyway. So
the thing is ETN gets the passing work and Bigsby get absolutely none of it. So with this matchup, I think both running backs are going to be finishing outside the top 30 this week.
Yep. Nope. Totally fair enough, guys. We'll jump into the next game here. We got another AFC South team, the Tennessee Titans, taking on the Washington Commanders. Commanders favored by 6 points in this one. Gabe total 44.5. Tajay Spears is still on the injury report. Concussion questionable. Austin Eckler has already been ruled out. Marshawn Lattimore also doubtful with the hamstring injury. LaPlante, I'll kick it to you to let you start it. I'll let you take it away for wherever you want to go here. What do you want to talk about?
I don't want to give you my sweet player because it's kind of a little bit of a spicy take. So I'm going to give you my sour player right now. It's Terry McLaurin. He's wide receiver 23 the last 3 weeks. In the last 4 weeks, Noah Brown is first on this team in targets with 27. Zach Ertz is second on this team in targets with 24. You know who is third on this team in targets? Not McLaurin. It's Austin Eckler.
Yeah.
With 18. And then fourth is McLaurin with 17. So the volume has dramatically dropped for McLaurin, and that really scares me. Take away that 86-yard touchdown in the final 2 minutes of last week, and he has 4 receptions for 16 yards. Yeah. I know it's hard to say that, but at the same time, this was under 2 minutes in this game, and that game went crazy at the end. And, without that touchdown, McLaurin was irrelevant, wide receiver 40 or worse. Tennessee is the third toughest matchup for wide receivers. So, yeah, McLaurin's my sour pick.
All right, Ike, take it away with yours. What do you got?
I was going to do that too, but man, he always seems to find a way to catch a 50-yard pass throughout the game because he's done it most of the games this year. But
or he catches a touchdown, like he had 2 catches the 1 week for 2 touchdowns,
and just saves his day. But I'm with LaPlante. Tennessee's got a solid pass defense, so yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I find it hard to sit him, like you guys said. You alluded to that, but if you can, I think if you need a tiebreaker somewhere, I'm okay with it as well.
5 games with a 50-plus yard reception.
All right, that just must have been a thing at the start of the year then.
Yeah, week 3, week 5, week 8, week 10, and then last week.
So it just skips a week. Sweet play, Calvin Ridley. As long as he's healthy. Washington has a bad pass defense. If Will Levis is going to throw, it's basically going to him because there's not much else. I mean,
nonsense. Chico Conquell. I'm just kidding.
Who had 1 catch for 70 yards. I mean, there's also
nobody thought he could run that fast.
There's also like
that's awesome, man.
Who keeps catching touchdowns, but I just still can't trust him enough to start in any other, and maybe in like 14-team leagues, stuff like that. Yeah. But if you're in a 10-teamer, I just can't trust it.
Are we allowed to say we hit on Calvin Ridley this year when we talked about him in the preseason of somebody that we liked? Because it was awful the first, 6 to 8 weeks of the season.
Yeah, I traded him for Mark Andrews.
He was dropped in most cases, so I don't know if
I know
say that because
the last 4 weeks he's been outstanding, man.
Most teams who drafted him probably dropped him, so I don't know if we could really say that he has been good, but it's been for
or trade him.
Yeah, or trade him.
Isn't it? That's wild to think.
Yeah, he's been on like 3 or 4 teams.
I guess Mark Andrews is kind of the same way, right? I mean, he still has a clunker here and there, but he's become valuable down the stretch as well.
Before I give my sweet pick, we do have a couple questions here. Jamie says ETN or Josh Palmer this week.
Justin Herbert seemed to really love Josh Palmer last week because I was.
And they play the Falcons
football game, and they play the Falcons. I think that's where I lean. Actually,
I'd go Palmer.
Yeah, I'd go Palmer as well. I'm sitting ETN in most cases where I can. Palmer's probably the fringe. But with the good matchup, that's the deal for me. And then Chandler says start Bo Nix or Purdy 6-point passing touchdown. I still don't know if Purdy's going to play. He got a limited practice in today. I saw he did, but I'm still worried.
I'm going Purdy.
The report did come out and said that it's trending that he is going to play. So I think he's going to play, but I'm still going to go Bo Nix here. Actually,
that's the thing. It's like they said that about James Cook earlier in the year when I got bit in the ass for starting him in some leagues when he was trending to play. He had a limited practice on Saturday. So I'm worried about that. You have a safe option in Bo Nix here, Chandler, who's been red hot lately. So I would just go with the safe option. And he's got.
Sorry, I want to bring this up. Albert made a great point with once Hopkins got traded, that was when Ridley finally started to take off. That's for sure.
He did. He absolutely did. And Will Levis actually was a little bit more competent lately.
Mm-hmm.
Broncos or Commanders defense? I go Broncos defense. They're against the Browns. They get Jameis Winston, who's turnover happy.
The Commanders get
Broncos
Tennessee,
defense.
who do
the Commanders get?
Tennessee. We're talking about that game right now. I'm gonna
I'd
go
still go
Commanders
Broncos.
defense actually with Will Levis. Gonna Will Levis.
Oh, Broncos.
Broncos as well. All right, and then last one here: Goddard or Ingram PPR. This one's based on Devontae Smith. If Devontae Smith is out, it's Goddard. If he's in, it's Ingram.
Agreed.
We'll get to that later. I actually have him as my guy.
And Jamie, thank you for bringing this up. You guys had a lot of mentions of Levis. He's my sweet player this week. In the last 4 weeks, the Commanders have allowed 3 of 4 QBs to finish as a top 10 QB. Daniel Jones was one of them. Russell Wilson was another. And Cooper Rush was the third. The one that oddly didn't finish inside the top 10 was Jalen Hurts, who finished his QB 15. Maybe it was just a divisional matchup, So Levis has one top 10 performance this year. Week 10 versus Chargers. He was literally QB 10. This will be a second top 10 performance of the year.
I like it, man. That one definitely is a little spicy. I don't know if anyone's starting Will Levis in leagues, but Superflex leagues, I don't know. Would you guys start Will Levis over Derek Carr this week? That's just, yes. I got that in a dynasty league. I'm kind of mulling over here. You guys,
I would.
You too, Ike?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll move along. Next game here, we got the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings favored by 3 points here. Game total of 45.5. Cam Robinson, kind of a big deal for the Vikings offensive line, questionable in this one. Mari DiMercato also questionable. Ike, we'll let you start. Take it away, man. Whatever you want.
I'll do a sour pick first, and that's going to be James Conner. Vikings are tough to run against. I know I'm a big fan of James Conner for most of these weeks, but last week he struggled big time, and it's not going to get better this week. Minnesota has allowed the least RB1 or RB2 finishes this year, so it's going to be a tough slam for him. I feel like they can get passed on, which will lead to my sweet play. So.
Yeah, I'm just worried about them abandoning the run as well, man. So
that's the only way Connor will get involved is in the pass game. That's the only way he can kind of get a good finish this week, because he's my sour play as well. It is just such a tough matchup to run against the Vikings. It is so much easier to pass on them. They're much more susceptible. So teams just abandon the run. And, if he's going to be involved, it's going to be dump offs.
Yeah, no, totally fair, man. Why don't you take it away with your sweet play then?
Oh, man, I hate this because it's a little biased, but at the same time, I just said it's easier to pass on a Marvin Harrison Jr. Yep. This is the number one best matchup for wide receivers. One of 3 teams allowing 40-plus points a game to wide receivers. I know he's been a roller coaster ride. I have him on, my personal team here, and it's been a roller coaster, but I'm hoping this is one of those high points of the season for him. On the season, though, through 11 games, Michael Wilson has outsnapped him, only by 4. But that is disturbing because that tells me that this team is 100% trying to run the ball more than they're trying to pass the ball. If Michael Wilson is out there, because he is a good run blocker. So, last 3 weeks, only 16 targets to Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, I hope to see at least 2/3 of those this week against the Vikings. I mean, Wilson only's had 9 the last 3 weeks, but McBride has been getting the most with 24. I mean, the matchup
for 15 of them were last week.
It's one of those things where this team's not running the ball very well, but they're trying to still run the ball. I just don't think they can get it done. So Marvin Harrison Jr. just has to be involved this week, along with McBride.
I agree.
Fair enough, guys.
It's not a good show, guys. We keep agreeing.
Well, this one was easy because the Vikings are really good against the run, so you gotta say James Conner, but they can get thrown all over. And who other than Marvin Harrison was really...
I mean, let's be real. The Cardinals defense has been playing better, as of late. Now, we could honestly say, maybe Aaron Jones is a little bit of a sour pick because the run defense was really good against Seattle last week. Kenneth Walker only had 13 points. So, you can make an argument.
Right now, you'll take 13 points from a running back.
No. Not when you got Achane. Not when you got Josh Jacobs playing on Thursday. Not when you got Rico Dowdle. So,
but like DeAndre Swift ain't reaching 13, so if you start DeAndre Swift over him, you're probably not too thrilled.
I hope people didn't start DeAndre Swift. We were telling people not to.
Anyways, let's go.
The guy I'm interested in this matchup is Jordan Addison. I like what we've been seeing from him as teams try to slow down Justin Jefferson. Jordan Addison's starting to emerge here, and I think he's pretty much a locked-in flex play at this point as well. Do you agree with that, Ike?
Yeah, I would like to see what other options you have, but yeah.
Calvin Ridley, Jordan Addison. They're about the same. They're easy. Like the same.
Ridley.
I'd go.
Why are they the same? Ridley's getting so much more volume than Addison.
I'd go Ridley because he's had like 8+ targets since coming back.
Exactly. Addison had a good week last week because the Bears did shut down Justin Jefferson and they just left the other side of the open. I mean, he has had two of the last 3 weeks have been pretty well.
I think it'd be more like Addison and
like if Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't have this matchup this week, I would make an argument that you could play Addison because it's Marvin Harrison Jr. has been bad. He has been bad.
I was gonna say more like Tank Dell and Jordan Addison. That's kind of like his level.
That one's a good one too.
I'd probably go Jordan Addison, to be honest with you. We got a good one here from Albert. We got Kyler, Bo Nix, Darnold, pick 2 for super flex.
I think you gotta play Kyler.
And go with.
I'm going Bo Nix. I'm riding the train for now.
Come on, ride the train.
They're Monday night, man.
I love playing players on Monday night, so I'm in on that.
I know, but has he played a primetime game this year, Bo Nix?
Jamie agrees with Ike and I. I don't know, man.
Man, I
have no idea. Dude, you never know. This Broncos Brown team might go into a shootout because Jameis Winston and Bo Nix are just two goofy dudes, man. They just
two goofy dudes. I like that, man. That was very well described. I enjoyed that. Next game here, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals favored by 3 here. Game total of 47.
That's a little wild.
I'm letting everyone know right now. Take the under on the 47.5. We said this about the Steelers-Ravens game. I know the Bengals offense is a little more faster paced, high powered, but it's a divisional game. It's the Steelers defense. 47.5 is a big number. I'm taking the under here. Nobody big on the injury report for either team. So LaPlante, I'll just let you take it away here. Give me your sweet.
I know you're taking the under, but are you taking the cover by the Steelers? The fact that the Bengals
I'm staying away. I don't know.
Because the Steelers are, winning team.
Let me just ask you this: who are the Steelers? Who are they?
They are a team
defense
that just brings their opponent down into the dirt and just the ringer says they have mud fights. They just have mud fights. It's not a lot of points scored, and it's going to be ugly, but somehow they find a way to win. That's Tomlin ball.
They're not going to win a playoff game, right?
I mean, can I ask you this? Can I ask you this? Does this team look better than the 11-0 team that had Ben Roethlisberger, 7 years ago?
I'd say yes, because Russell might be more athletic.
Because that team
had Antonio Brown, right?
Bounced. That team got bounced.
But also a legit statue in Ben Roethlisberger. Legit statue.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So, I think this team is better than that, but I mean, how much better? We'll see if they can. I think they're going to be a hard out in the playoffs.
I think
they're going to be, other than Texans, most teams are going to throttle them. If it's the Ravens, are going to want revenge.
Throttle is probably a strong word because they'll muck it up, like you kind of said. But I think beating them is, I don't think they're winning a playoff game. But Mike, will take it away here. Give me your sweet or sour play. I kind of took us off the rail there.
No, you're fine. My sweet player here is T. Higgins. Last 2 games that Higgins and Chase have played together, which albeit have been pretty far apart because of the injury. Week 7 and week 11, Higgins has outperformed Chase. Week 7, Higgins was wide receiver 9, Chase was wide receiver 12. Both of them fantastic, but Higgins outperformed Chase. Week 11, Higgins was wide receiver 2, Chase was wide receiver 4. Both really good. Still did better. So, it feels like Higgins, when Chase is out there, is just phenomenal as of late. Steelers are the 6th toughest matchup for wide receivers. Tomlin will try to disrupt this Burrow to Chase connection that's been working all year long, and I just think they lean on Higgins to win this game, and I think it's another 2-touchdown performance.
I like the call, man.
Bengals need the game more than the Steelers.
I think I'm the only one that doesn't like the Bengals this week, I feel like. So I feel weird now because I usually like the Bengals.
You should. Let's argue right now.
Is Higgins your sour play or no?
No, my sour play was Burrow because the Steelers have allowed 0 QB1 finishes, which doesn't mean he won't be like he could still put up 18 points or whatever. But if he just finishes QB1, but
he's the MVP of losing teams right now. I don't think he's gonna. I think he's just gonna continue this hot streak.
Maybe, but based off what the Steelers have done to quarterbacks so far, I'm gonna have to just lean Burrow. Could you lose you the week if you decide to start him? But just like LaPlante said, since he's on a heater, he could win you a week. So it's one of those.
Did you start Goff over him, Mike, in the home league?
Yes.
Burrow?
Yep.
All right. Putting your money where your mouth is. I like it.
So he's 3-2 against the Steelers in his career. No, I'm just saying he's 3-2 in his career against the Steelers.
Yeah, I didn't check his stats against the Steelers, so
averages 2.2 touchdowns a game, but 1.5 interceptions a game, 253 passing yards. Like that's a pretty good floor to rock with, and he's on a heater.
In our league, that's fine because you're getting 25 points just from yards, but in normal leagues, you're getting half that.
All right, give me your sweet play here.
George Pickens. Bengals have allowed quite a few wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2 finishes. 4th most, I believe. Yeah, 4th most. So they're going to throw. It's going to Pickens. I don't see Calvin Austin being able to do what he did last time. So I'd be firing up Pickens as a wide receiver 2 for sure. DFS lineups, I feel like people are going to like him too.
Fair. Mike, who is your sour play?
Sour. Yeah, my sour play is kind of the opposite of Ike here. It's Najee Harris and Jalen Warren. Last week was the 3rd game where Jalen Warren outsnapped Najee Harris, but he by far outsnapped him the most out of those 3 games, 56% to 39% for Najee Harris. They will cannibalize each other in a tough matchup, 9th toughest matchup for running backs. Oh, no, Dylan, where'd you go?
I'm back.
Did I talk you off camera?
No, I checked the private chat. I had to hardwire in. I was rookie move here just on my Wi-Fi. So I had to hop off real quick. Just wanted to make sure that I sounded clear for everybody. So I don't know what you said, but I'm sure it was absolutely spectacular information. But we can move on to the next game here. Right?
Before we do,
I like it.
Njoku or Goddard, and this is easy for me, even with the Devontae Smith. It's got Njoku.
They have both these. Yeah, I'm going Goddard for sure. Actually, I'm playing Taysom.
It's Njoku, man. Njoku had a touchdown last week in a snow game. Like Jameis, I said he almost said.
I was going to say he caught one ball, 5 targets.
I know, but it was tough passing night, but he got the red zone target. He gets the, money targets. So in a matchup where it's hard to pass on the outside against Denver with those corners, give me Njoku in the middle.
No, we're going to get to it later. It's Goddard for sure. So
if Smith is out, it's Goddard. If Smith is in, it's Njoku for me.
Baltimore can get passed on. I'll save it. But I'm going Goddard.
Okay. The Seattle Seahawks taking on the New York Jets this week, guys. Seahawks favored by 1 here with a game total of 42. Guys, I'm going to take the Seahawks here. The Jets have rolled over and died. It's over. Brees.
They haven't died. I mean,
Brees Hall's questionable.
No, he's playing, man.
Okay, he's going to play. It's all good there.
It's trending up is what Albrecht said.
All right.
No, he's playing.
Ike, take it away with your sweet or sour play. I don't care where you go.
I don't really like this whole game. So I guess my sweet
sound a little nervous.
Is going to be the guy who's been just smashing in the targets for the Seahawks, and that's Jackson Smith and Jibba. Dude is the number 1 receiver in that on that team now for a team that likes to throw a lot.
I don't like you saying that.
So I'm going
JSN.
JSN.
Saying that. He's not the number one on that team. He's been
JSN
on fire, but he's
one.
not the number one.
Who else would it be?
You know it's DK. You know it's
No.
He's the wide receiver one.
DK is 6'5", but he's no alpha. The alpha is the 5'11" JSN. All right.
I want you to tell DK he's not an alpha.
I will bring it.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the thing. You're gonna find out how much of an alpha DK.
I'll look him dead in the eye. Say it next thing I know. I'm getting set.
Not a chance. Yeah. Not a chance.
Then I'll stew his ass.
Wow. You're not the alpha. He's my sweet player this week. Only 3 performances in 9 games inside the top 24 wide receivers this year. Yes, he's been disappointing. Absolutely disappointing. That's a 33% hit rate.
You want to know why he's been disappointing?
It's not JSN.
It's because JSN's the new number 1 wide receiver.
No, that's not
Hashtag analysis.
All right, to Dylan's sentiment about the Jets being dead. Last time they played a game, Week 11, they allowed Anthony Richardson to finish as the QB4 and Josh Downs to finish as the wide receiver 11. Now, I understand Josh Downs is not, DK Metcalf, but can you both agree with me that Sauce Gardner has been questioned for his tackling all year long? All right.
He stinks, kind of.
He stinks this year, kind of, right? All right. So if Sauce is the one that's going to be covering DK Metcalf this week, he ain't tackling shit.
I just want to hark on this a little bit more that it's not DK Metcalf as number 1, it's JSN. Because if you look at the last 3 weeks, JSN is wide receiver 1, 9, and wide receiver 13 with 13 targets, 11 targets, and 7. And I don't think DK is seeing even a sniff of that. So I think I might be right here. So I'm going JSN as this week play. And if you're right that Sauce Gardner is going to be on DK, that means JSN's going to have who?
He's in
Bryce,
the squad anyway.
Bryce Hall, whoever, and he's been struggling.
I mean, the other secondary for the Jets have been better when healthy.
What's the other secondary? They switch them out sometimes?
No, what I'm saying is when healthy, dumbass.
Sorry.
You guys are silly, man. Keep the train on the tracks, fellas. We'll plan to take it away with whatever you want to go here.
Here's my thing. Both of these players can be sweet picks. Both of these players can be sweet picks with DK and JSN because it leads me into my sour pick, which is Ken Walker.
Both of them.
Stop week
choosing Ken Walker, man.
It's true though. As far as as he started, you guys suck. Have you looked at his
football? He's good at football.
Shut up. He's in his first 5 games played this year. He had 4 games of 18 plus points. All right. Now that was a ceiling we loved. That's why we drafted Ken Walker. Well, that's what we thought we were getting. All right. Last 3 games, it's been 13.7 points, 13.9 points, and 13.3 points.
How are you not okay with that though? 13
I'm
points.
Okay. I'm okay with that, but I'm not saying to bench Ken Walker. It's hard to pick it's hard to pick a sour player in this one without, picking the, lowest hanging fruit. So it's Ken Walker. No, because
coming off somewhat knee, he might be limited, man. If you have better options, like I'm sure most people don't, but if you're like in a 1 running back league or 2 running back league, like in Scott Fishbowl, one of them have that. You don't have to be starting.
You can start a bunch of running backs in Scott Fish, so that one doesn't apply.
But you only have to start 1, is what he was saying.
Yeah, you only have to start 1.
And I don't think he should be that one. I'd play Kamara over him.
Are you playing Ramondre Stevenson over him in the home league, Ike?
I play Ken Walker over Ramondre.
I'm switching that.
I'd be sitting.
Although Stevenson does have a good matchup against the Colts, but he's
the thing is Ken Walker has a good floor. It's just that ceiling of that 18 plus point performances we were seeing is not there anymore. And last week he didn't get a single red zone touch. It was all Charbonnet. That's scary.
All right. Yeah, I disagree, but it's fine. You can keep hating on Kenneth Walker, man. I'll take his 13.
I mean, you're not benching him. Don't get me wrong. It's just you're not getting those good performances either.
Jamie, Aaron Rodgers. Oh, where'd it go? I'm clicking on wrong random stuff. Aaron Rodgers is a sour play. Agreed there. Ike, you're right about Anthony Richardson sucking. You're wrong about Aaron Rodgers sliding into the top 12 this
Yeah, that's brutal.
But we'll jump into the afternoon games now that we call it here in the Midwest. We'll take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Carolina Panthers. Battle in the NFC South. Bucks favored by -6. Game total 46.5, and it's a Baker Mayfield revenge game. Ike, kick it to you, man. Let you start here with your sweet or sour play. Go ahead.
Baker, top 5 quarterback this week for sure. Carolina is pretty bad against quarterback.
So much confidence.
I'm pretty sure they even allow Patrick Mahomes to be a top 10 quarterback or at least top 12, and he very rarely does that.
They did.
And Baker has put up like 7 of his past 9
Like
counting live time. 1, 2. I don't care how soft you whisper, we're gonna hear it.
No, I wasn't even whispering. I was just like, I had to do it really
What were you doing then?
It's counting
quick.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't that one.
That was good.
I like it, man. I like that call. LaPlante, go ahead.
I'm going on the opposite end here. Another spicy take. Bryce Young. He's my sweet player this week. Not a single top 12 performance this year. It's hard to be sweet when you're not, doing that, right? Hard to be sweet. I know. Last 3 weeks, he's gotten better each time coming back from the benching. QB 26, yeah. QB 17,
Yeah.
and then QB 14 last week. Tampa Bay is the second best matchup for QBs. They've allowed 6 top 12 QB performances this year, and they've also allowed 2 QB 13 performances. So I just wanted to put that in there because they're one spot away from making that 8 top 12 performances this year for QB. This will be Bryce Young's best game as an NFL QB. Market right now.
Jamie said you're too low on Baker this week. He must have him higher than QB5. I like it, Jamie. I like that swag Baker's been showing too, man. I like that guy. I like that.
Yeah, I'm so glad he's doing good now.
Yeah. Ike, take it away with your sour play.
I'm going to go Kate Otten. He's been bad ever since they started working in.
I disagree. I think he'll be good this week. Carolina's a great matchup for tight ends. But
that's Mike Evans is back, so they're going to want to feed him. I feel like they are on a mission just to get him what he usually does, and that's 1,000 yards. Maybe this might be a game where they're going to work it even more. Plus, they really like to run the ball. Rashad White and Bucky will see their touches. It's not going to be much left over for Kate Otten.
Yeah, I like it. I really enjoy Bucky Irving coming on this back half of the season.
I don't like it.
Absolutely fantastic, and lock him into your lineups each and every week. Him
awesome. I like. But the Kate Otten take I don't like. Noah Gray, tight end 3 on the week against Carolina. Noah Gray.
That's
I
fine.
think Kate Otten's still getting the targets even.
What did Travis Kelce finish that week? You're gonna give me Noah Gray from the Chiefs. What did the number 1 tight end do?
He
got
did.
him. Come on, got him.
Tight end 12.
Let's see.
What do you mean? That's both of them are top 12 tight ends, asshole.
I would play Goddard, Njoku, Taysom Hill all over.
I would not play Goddard. I'd play Taysom Hill. I'd not play Goddard over Kate Otten. Say it. I don't care.
Say it. You don't care.
I don't care.
Dion, we don't want to talk about the Chiefs, man. That was the ugliest game I've ever seen. I've ever seen.
Don't hate on Dion.
Go be happy about barely beating the Panthers and barely beating the Raiders.
I do.
A win's a win.
Easy. I do like Bowers, Brody.
Bowers is a beast, dude. I told you guys he was going to be a beast.
He is
not like all you guys on the show, but Dylan and LaPlante did.
Yeah, for sure. Jamie says Mike Evans book it for 135.
He had the balls to tell us, but not everybody else.
See it too. Oh man, I definitely wish I had more shares of him instead in all my dynasty leagues.
I wish I had more shares of him.
I have 0 of him, so I'm not thrilled about it.
In best ball, man, that's where I regret it because I didn't think it'd be this good. I wish I had more shares of him in best ball.
Agree.
They basically said, Michael Mayer, you're non-existent. Sorry.
You guys are right about that. Next game here, we got the Los Angeles Rams taking on the New Orleans Saints. Rams favored by 3 here with a high game total of 49.5. We got Tyler Higbee still out. Nobody really else of concern. Jamal Williams questionable. Who cares? I guess same thing for Tyler.
Who cares?
But I got kick it to you, man. Take it away, whatever you want.
I'll do a sweet play, and it's going to be Taysom Hill.
I freaking knew it.
Do not expect what he did the last time he played. That was just bonkers. But recently they came out that they want to involve him in the game plan more. He's a big part of it. So for a tight end that runs and sometimes throws the ball, he's just an instant start every week for a tight end position because there's no other tight end doing that. One long pass and you're set up. Couple catches from the tight end spot, you're fine, or a couple runs in the goal line, which he seems to get. It's just a weird player. It's always around this time he starts figuring out too. So yeah, Taysom Hill, fire him up.
You heard it here. I said the Saints have come out of the closet saying they like Taysom Hill.
They love him, man.
They love him. They need to. They
just like Sean Payton. Sean Payton rejected it for so long, and then he finally came out and said, you know what, we love Taysom Hill. Let's get him involved here. You know, they even tried making him the backup QB at one point for the Saints and the actual, starting QB. But I agree with Ike. He's my sweet play as well. Saquon Barkley ran for 255 rushing yards last week against them. Kamara and Taysom Hill will probably combine for 255 rushing yards against this team. They just can't stop the run.
Yep. Keep it with you, man, and go with your sour play. Look at me when I'm talking to you.
I gotta address what you're putting in the private chat. So my sour player is, and you're still starting him, don't bench him. It's Kyren Williams. Kyren Williams has not seen a single target the past 2 weeks. Not one. 0. Last 2 finishes, running back. I know it is weird. Running back 23 and running back 15. Like, you're still starting that. But if it continues with 0 targets, he's, back end RB2, and it's just it's boring.
Stafford's guys are back though, man. Why would you want to throw it to Kyren Williams, who I'm sure Jamie already has?
Especially when there's going to be no pass rush
thing in the chat about it. When you have Puka Nacua, when you have Cooper Kupp, when you have DeMarcus.
The thing is, though, is he has been
just mentioned DeMarcus Robinson. I don't think he's playing, man.
He's been more efficient on the ground.
Wasn't he doing 100 or something after the
He was, I do remember that, yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Mike. What were you saying? Sorry.
I was just saying, even though Kyren Williams hasn't been really involved in the passing game as of late, he has been a more efficient runner on the ground. 4.1 yards a carry, 5.7, 4.5, the last 3 games.
Yeah, fair enough. Go ahead and take it away. Sour play.
I'm going to go with Kyren Williams too, I guess. I don't really have anybody else. You're not playing anybody really from the Saints except for Taysom Hill and Alvin Kamara. I think they're both going to be fine for you. And from the Rams, Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp should be fine for you too. So Stafford, I guess you can say, because he hasn't been quarterback one much this year, so you might not want to fall into that trap. There's probably better out there.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of interested in Stafford this week. I'll push back a little bit. He was definitely better than I anticipated last week against
top 8 finishes the past 2 weeks.
The Eagles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so with his weapons back, he's an interesting guy. Obviously, he gives you nothing with his legs.
That was garbage time though with Stafford.
He has to throw 2, 3, 4 touchdowns to have a really monster week, obviously. But
I guess you can say him. But again, there's not much to really hate from this game. You know who you're starting. You know who you're not even touching for sure. So
no, that's totally fair. We'll go ahead and jump into the next one here. Probably game of the week here. The Philadelphia Eagles taking out the Baltimore Ravens.
Game of the year.
Ravens favored by 3 points in this one, guys, with a game total of 51. Expecting a lot of points to be scored in this one. We'll see. I'm skeptical of it, but the Ravens have been good. Obviously, the Eagles have been really good on the legs of Saquon Barkley. As of late, the dude's just a maniac. But LaPlante, you look ready to go, so I'll let you start with this one. Whatever way you want to go here.
I look ready to go. I'm going to go with my sweet player here. Jalen Hurts, back-to-back weeks finishing as the QB 15, very mundane. Only 2 touchdowns the last 2 weeks. Yeah, only 2 total touchdowns the past 2 weeks. And this is all after a stretch of 4 straight top 5 performances. I just think he gets back into the top 5 this week. Baltimore is the 3rd best matchup for QB, 2nd best for wide receivers. He can do it on the ground, and in a great matchup, even without Devontae Smith, I still think he can do it through the air.
Yeah,
Ravens are beating the Chiefs. Come on.
Yeah, man. I don't know if I could get there with the Eagles yet either, man. I know they've already been in the Super Bowl, but that ain't no guess. That's what it's going to be.
That's what it's going to be.
Kick it to you, man. Take it away, Ike.
I like the Jalen Hurts one, so that helps me with mine. I'm going Dallas Goedert. Ravens have allowed the most tight end 1 finishes, allowed the most tight end 1 finishes. So Goddard should be able to do very well. Plus Devontae Smith is out. He's seen 5+ targets in back-to-back games, 10+ points in 2 of the last 3 since coming from injury. And all you need is 10 points from tight end to get in the top 12 for the most part. So yeah, that's what I'm going.
Goddard yet, man.
I'm not sold on Goddard yet either, because I think the other sweet play that you could say in this matchup is Barkley. He's got a tough matchup on the ground with Baltimore, 8th toughest for running backs, but
it don't matter.
They allow the 5th most receptions to running backs with 63 on the year, which Barkley 100% can get involved in. And it leads me into my sour play, which is why Derrick Henry is that sour play. Philadelphia is the 4th toughest matchup for running backs. He's got to be efficient on the year to, get you points, because he is absolutely non-existent in the passing game. 59th for running backs in targets, 56th in receptions. He is not involved in the air whatsoever. And it concerns me if he can't get going in this game. They get down. He's not going to be involved. It's going to be Justice Hill. And Derrick Henry just has a dud of a week unless he can maybe fall into the end zone.
Yeah. I could definitely see that happen too. He struggled last week, if I'm not mistaken, as well, because he didn't find the end zone. I kick it to you. What do you got here?
I was going to say Derrick Henry as well, but I think it's going to be weird to say, but a lot of this Ravens offense might struggle because the Eagles, since the bye, this defense has been something different. They're getting to the quarterback pretty well. They're getting turnovers. They're not allowing very many points. They're just kind of steamrolling through teams. So I know it's the Ravens. I know Lamar and Derrick Henry are scary, but they can be stopped. Just look at the Steelers game. And I think the Eagles know exactly what to do now, since they probably are looking at that game film.
I don't think they're stopping Lamar. No chance. Lamar is playing at an MVP level right now. I think he has another great game. It's just, I think Henry is the one you don't want. I mean, you're starting him, but it's going to be a bad day.
I'm a little bit skeptical on Lamar. And
Darius Slay is out, like Jamie said, too, as well.
Yeah,
I'm not skeptical on Lamar.
Yeah.
Like, I chalk up the Lamar game, against the Steelers as, it was a divisional game. I mean, the Steelers know how to stop Lamar, that we've seen it in the past. And that's, one of his only performances outside the top 12 this year.
All right. Sunday Night Football, guys. We got the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Buffalo Bills. Bills favored by 7 in this one with a game total of 43. With Purdy trending in the right direction, I bet you that line moves. Probably goes to 4.5, I'd assume. Bills being favored by 7 that's a big number here. But Trent Williams is out, which is a big one. Nick Bosa also out for the 49ers. Dalton Kincaid out for the Bills as well here. So not great news there for all the Kincaid owners out there, a.k.a. me.
That really screwed me in Warrior Bowl. I don't have a backup tight end because I had to drop him to go get a replacement for Seibert, who went on the IR. It's just it's killing me in Warrior Bowl.
Yeah, it's tough, man, for sure. I take it away with your sweet or sour play here.
I am not going to pick either one. I'm just going to first say that the weather might be
What, are you going on strike? You're not picking one?
The weather might be very brutal when it comes to Sunday. Buffalo is expected to get absolutely mollywopped with snow. Hopefully they can get it all cleared by the game.
No wind, though.
No, I I got it.
No,
Dylan.
it's still might be snowing still.
He's not going to give any sweet or sour picks. He's just going to give his weather report.
So I literally want no pass catcher from either team. I'd rather have James Cook, Josh Allen. You can go with those, and then C-Mac. That's about it. George Kittle I actually like just because George Kittle is wild.
He's the fantasy weatherman. Give it a little
he's
bit
a beast. So
weather report.
Since you're not going to give a sweet or sour play, let's give some good information here to Albert. Here, I passed over this question earlier. My bad, Albert. DK or Garrett Wilson, half-point PPR?
I think that's Garrett Wilson. Yeah, I think that's Garrett Wilson. I do like DK this week, but Garrett Wilson is guaranteed 7+ targets. And it is a better matchup.
You guys are going to owe me some beers. You guys are going to owe me some beers.
Why?
Garrett Wilson over Devontae Adams rest of the season. Remember that one?
I think Devontae Adams gets more volume, but Garrett Wilson's a better player. Yeah, agreed. LaPlante, kicking it to you, man. Give me your sweet and sour play, I guess, since Ike's got nothing.
I said don't play any of the pass catchers. If you want to, go for it.
I disagree with you.
Apparently, you have never been in the blizzard, so. And you live in Wisconsin.
Windy,
he's driven in a blizzard.
If it's not windy, it's fine.
Dylan, they're going to
have snow plows.
An insane amount of snow. It might even get canceled, bro.
It's not going to get canceled. Go ahead, LaPlante.
I hope it don't get canceled. That'd be boring. My sweet player this week is CMC, and you may say that's a low-hanging fruit, but his best performance on the year in the 3 games back has been RB10, so it's not as low as you think. But this is the third best matchup for running backs. Buffalo just stops people through the air, and if there's going to be snow, there's probably going to be wind. Probably not a lot, Dylan, to affect it. It's got to be like 20+ mile per hour winds to really affect the QBs.
3 to 4 feet of snow.
Yeah, and CMC
during the game.
No, just expect it throughout the weekend from Friday to Sunday.
I like the weatherman.
Keep going, LaPlante. You can give your other one.
So my other pick, Ike's not wrong about the pass catchers. I really don't want much of the pass catchers in this game, but Debo, if you've been starting him, just sit him. 3 out of the last 5 games, he's finished outside the wide receiver 40.
Yeah,
also 8th toughest matchup for wide receivers. So just sit Dion if you have the choice. If you had Thursday night options, I'd have been starting, over Debo.
Dude, he's been bad. So yeah, that's why
he's been bad. He's been bad.
If you Jordan Addison or Debo Samuel?
Jordan Addison.
Yeah.
Give me another.
Calvin Ridley.
That's crazy.
Well, you guys already said Calvin Ridley. Tank Dell.
I would Tank Dell. I would take Tank Dell. That's a good matchup.
But, yeah. I'm pretty sure Debo hasn't even top 10 points the past few weeks, so
I'd take I almost kind of want Calvin Austin.
Would you have played Jacoby Myers over Debo Samuel before today's game? Okay,
yeah.
Yeah.
Would you play Rashad Bateman over Debo Samuel?
Oh, fuck.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Against the Eagles. I would do it.
No. I'd play I'd stick it with Debo because hopefully they put him in the run game a little bit.
No, I'd still do
That's
it.
Not Bateman
the last 3.
Oh my God. That's how I was hoping. If it is snowy, maybe Debo is shifty enough to score.
So last 3 games, Debo Samuel has all 3 performances outside the top 40. Last 3 games for Bateman, he has 2 performances inside the top 26 and 1 outside the top 40. So it can be Bateman.
Wow.
All right, we got Monday Night Football.
You tell me I should message Zach, be like, yo, you want Bateman for Debo Samuel? See what he thinks about that.
Not what I'm saying. I mean, if he needs a win this week, yeah. But not long term, I guess.
I want to go over to Monday Night Football, fellas. We got the Cleveland Browns taking on the Denver Broncos. Broncos favored by 5.5 with a 42 game total here. We don't have the injury report yet, so I'm going to kick it right to Ike since LaPlante's muted. Not ready here. Shocker. Ike, take it away.
I'm ready.
I'm going Bo Nix, man. He's been on fire lately. He's been the best rookie quarterback. Hold on. Caleb, these past 2 weeks has looked pretty good. So
don't even. It's Bo Nix and Jane Daniels in the Rookie of the Year.
Please don't say Jane Daniels. All right, ever since he hurt his ribs, He's been absolutely nothing. Ever since the Hail Mary, actually, with the Bears, he's been pretty much nothing. And Caleb's starting to figure it out. And granted, he has to throw 50 times a game pretty much to do it. But again, I've got off topic there, but I'm going Bo Nix. I'm a big fan of him. He's been a quarterback one performances a lot lately. So
just so you know, Jane Daniels is the favorite right now for Rookie of the Year. Then it is Bo Nix. Then Brock Bowers. And then
I think Brock Bowers should win it, but he won't because
Caleb Williams is fourth. Not in the conversation.
Michael Plant, we're going through fucking 4 people getting fired on our team, all right? And we're going through some shit. Stop talking about Caleb.
He's been good. Don't get me wrong. He's been good. He's been good. He could have called the timeout at the end of that game and bet
he hasn't thrown a pick in 6 weeks, and we've lost every game. That's NFL history. Come on.
No, I mean, I wouldn't say that's history. It is history how many coaches you've gone through in such a short span. That's history.
Shut up.
How crazy
is it? You're taking us off the tracks, guys.
Our best coach in the past decade half, other than Lovie Smith, was Matt Nagy, and that's disgusting to think about.
I don't know. This is the curse of firing Lovie Smith for a 10 season.
Duh, remember when we had
How do you feel?
on?
Don't make me tell you to shut up again. You know what shut up means?
Or how about Mark Trestman? Does that bring back any memories?
That one's a good one. The defense was so good with Trestman.
Mark Trestman.
Oh, that's when they were turning bad. Lance Briggs actually said on the show I was listening today that he knew he was out on Mark Trestman the first meeting he had with him, which is incredible for him to say.
I only know how to coach Canadians and old retired football players. So here we go.
I think we can get you to talk about it, Dylan, at some point.
Take it away, LaPlante. We were gonna finish this shindig under an hour for the first time ever, and you guys blew it.
He started talking about his Bears fandom and King of the North with Caleb Williams.
He's still King of the North.
No, he ain't. If anything, he's Jared Goff.
Jon Snow didn't become King of the North for a few seasons. We got a few seasons to roll into it.
Until he died. So that's pretty much what Caleb Williams is going.
Spoiler alert, you idiot!
If you haven't seen Game of Thrones,
what is wrong with you?
First, you're making weird jokes earlier about Taysom Hill. Now you're doing this.
We're not talking about that. Go on, Michael Plant. For the love of God, give me your sweet and sour play.
For spoiling that for you. But, I mean, he spoiled it when he said Jon Snow was king first. So, I mean, you're not giving him shit for that.
You haven't watched it by now. It's not a spoiler, bro.
Same thing. It's not a spoiler if you haven't watched it by now.
For the love of God.
My sweet player is correlated with, like, I like Bo Nix this week, and I love Sutton because besides Bo Nix and Sutton, these two are the only bright spots in fantasy the last 4 games. It's definitely not been the running backs.
What do you
last
mean?
3 games.
You don't like guessing?
What do you mean?
I love guessing, just not in fantasy.
You don't like flipping a coin? You don't know if Javonte Williams is going to have -1 yard or not on 8 carries?
Or if Audric Estime
so good, man.
Benched for no reason. But yeah, it's Sutton. Last 4 games, wide receiver 6, wide receiver 6, wide receiver 26, and wide receiver 2 last week. So Cleveland's the ninth best matchup for wide receivers, 8th best for QBs. So Nix and Sutton have a day.
Game of Thrones is good, Jamie, if you haven't checked it out.
You
can probably skip the final season if you want.
Oh, you can skip definitely the final season.
It's good week. Albert said it's an Estime week.
I could have wrote a better final season.
I think the moons on Saturn have aligned, and that's what tells Sean Payton it's Estime week.
I thought maybe Albert flipped the coin and it landed on tails. That's how he ended up with Estime there.
I mean, maybe that's how he finds out too.
I think Sean Payton's finally like, all right, Javonte, you're kind of cooked now. I don't think you are what we thought you were.
It's a situation like Jerry and the Sun. Sean Payton knew when Estime was going to play a total year in advance, just like he knew when the Sun was going to be there a year in advance.
You say some odd stuff here, man. Now he's taking away with you sour play.
I'm going to just pick the easy one just so we can get under an hour. Javonte Williams. Don't even think about it. Even if it's
easier one.
Even if it's a 16-team league, I'd rather play fucking
Amir Abdullah today.
I got an easier one for you since your sour plays Javonte
Sure,
Williams.
Lord.
Would you rather play Javonte Williams or my sour play Nick Chubb?
Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
No chance. I'd rather play
Yeah. Oh no, I play Nick Chubb 10 times out of 10. At least
No
he's
chance.
Why do you hate Nick Chubb? Why do you hate?
At least he'll be in the red zone.
Literally ripped his knee to shreds and broke his.
Without those 2 touchdowns last week, he has 7 points and finishes as RB32 instead of RB8. So
That's fine. He gets red zone attempts. At least he's not running for -1 yards on 8 carries.
I mean, there's not going to be many red zone attempts if Jameis Winston throws his 30 interceptions this game against the Broncos.
Man. He's going to throw 30 interceptions for Patrick Surtain.
I mean, I was referencing the 30 touchdown,
fucking
30
performance of the century, Patrick Surtain.
30 interception season.
Whoa! Wait a minute. Who did you say your sour play was?
Nick Chubb.
It wasn't the guy who Patrick Surtain's covering? Holy crap, man. Riddle me that, Ike.
It's not Jerry Jeudy.
I did bench in Warrior Bowl, and it was, hindsight's 2020. I benched Cedric Tillman for Jameson Williams.
Well, yeah, he is in the concussion protocol. Good call.
But if he plays, man.
Here's where I'm at, guys. I got a question for you. Do you play... Hope that Cedric Tillman plays. This is why receiver 3 is how down bad it is. Or do you play
DJ Moore?
Rashad Bateman? I got Bucky Irving for him, so thank you very much. or L.A. Vele. Huh? What do you got there?
What did you call Vele?
Dele Vele?
Devon.
It's Devon.
I thought you called him.
Why is he on ESPN? DELEVELE.
Right. No, it's Devon.
Right. Yeah, he is another reason why Sleeper's better.
Let me take a look.
Who did you? I'd probably just play Vele, to be honest with you.
He's actually seen some decent time.
I'd be playing Bateman.
He's a fantasy 6-pack all-star too. All the way back in July when we were doing those team previews, Mike Parker Gabriel gave the shout out to Devon Ailey, said he was going to be an impact player for this Broncos offense. That was pretty.
Took a while.
Nobody saw that coming though.
Took a while, just like his NFL debut at 26.
I was gonna say, Mike, I didn't even know who Devon Vele was because his story was so wild. Like Parker said, he went out, he joined like the Peace Corps or something, and went overseas and did some stuff. That's why
he saw 9 targets last week. So.
I know, man. That's probably where I'd go, like, to play it safe. If I be honest with you,
he could get you. Bateman's just has to for a touchdown. It's a tough matchup though. There.
Yep, totally fair. But that wraps it up, right? Did you guys give everything?
Yeah.
I gave it everything I got, Coach.
All right, great stuff as always, boys. This was a lot of fun. We appreciate Albert. We appreciate Brody. We appreciate Uncle Ted here, going here with the sincere McCormick. His mustache. He was good today. It was surprising. I remember watching him at UTSA. Decent player there for sure. But we appreciate everybody listening. I like it. Ike, you threw me off the rails here.
Get it back together. Come on. You're a professional.
Yep. On the way out, guys, please hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Bye. Head on over to fantasy6pack.net/plans, become an all-access member, all that hubbub. Check us out on the Sunday social on Sunday where we answer your start-sit questions. We'll have Alan Sand and John talking his best bets starting at 9:30 Central Time. Joe will be there at 9:45 talking his rankings. Then myself, Michael Plant, Jordan Schultz will be answering start-sit questions. And then our DFS guys, Chris Robb and Keith Fleming, answer all your DFS questions, break down the slate, their favorite plays on the day. So make sure to tune into that as well. That all starts at 9:30, the Sunday social. So make sure to check us out there. Hit that bell for notifications so you know when we go live for that one as well. But until then, for Mike and Ike, I'm Dylan. Candy Shop is closed. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye.